It's 6:01. I'm gonna get started with the Florida Healthcare Simulation Alliance monthly webinar. I hope everybody had for part, colleagues on Central Florida, Orlando. I believe now is going to the East Coast, Norfolk, Cape Canaveral. I haven't seen the latest report on the Hurricane Ian. We might be experiencing some little number turnout because of that. Hopefully everybody did all went through this natural event uneventfully. And they were safe, all safe. Just wanna start introducing our our keynote speaker for the day. His name is Dr. Prabin Thapa. He comes to us via, I'm not gonna murder this, Kairola Institute of Health and Science, abbreviated B.P.K.I.H.S, which is in Nepal, if I'm not mistaken. He's currently working in the Eastern Healthcare Department in the healthcare in the Bronx. He is going to be talking to us on regards of a very interesting topic, which is artificial intelligence. So without further ado, I want to let Mr. Dr. Thapa start his conference.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. Myself, Dr. Prabin Thapa. I'm an international medical graduate from Nepal. I graduated in 2019, and after graduation, I served as a medical officer in Nepal for over a year. Then after that, I moved to the United States. Then I started searching for many different jobs in the States. Finally, I got this job at Bronx, New York as a clinical assistant, clinical care coordinator. And I've been working there for about a year. So during my work there, I got this topic, the role of artificial intelligence in medicine, to present in the medical conference. So I started preparing for the presentation and I made this presentation. And during my work there, I met one of the colleague who is now here in the webinar, Merlin. He recommended me to present in this simulation program. So I would highly appreciate, and I'm very thankful to be here, and thank you for having me here. Now I want to start my presentation. The topic of presentation is the role of artificial intelligence in medicine. Okay, so these are the contents I will be discussed over my presentation. So first, I will start with the definition of artificial intelligence, and I will discuss something about the mechanism behind the artificial intelligence. There are lots of different mechanisms, but the most importantly, the main mechanism behind the AI are the machine learning and deep learning. I will discuss something about those things, and I will give overview about artificial intelligence in medicine, why it is important in medicine. Then I will go deep down into the role of AI into medicine. And after that, I will conclude this presentation. So first of all, what is artificial intelligence? Okay, so artificial intelligence is the computer systems that are capable of performing different tasks and roles that requires human intelligence, such like decision making, object detection, solving complex problem, there are lots of roles in our system that only human can do. But these are the artificial intelligence is the concept that they develop the computer system that can perform the level of activities just like human intelligence. Why it is important? It's like it's very widely used in our medical field. Why? Because every day we create lots of data. Like whenever the provider do home visit or when the patients come to the doctor's office, there will be lots of tons of data, creation of lots of data, and then each data are very complex. So to deal with that, the concept of AI has arisen. And with the use of artificial intelligence, there will be very high level of computations that can solve the complex problem and with the increased accuracy. And according to research, it is estimated that if the concept of AI implemented correctly, it can transform the whole practice of medicine and save the healthcare industry economically over 150 billion by 2025. This is the aim according to the research. So overall, this is the artificial intelligence. Next will be the backbone of artificial intelligence. That is, there are different mechanisms behind artificial intelligence, as I already discussed. But most importantly, it's machine learning and then deep learning and neural network are the two basic main mechanism. So first of all, what is machine learning? You can see in the figure there are lots of data, and there is a machine and then the processing mechanism. So machine learning is basically there are lots of data and we fed this data into the machine, and then machine analyze those data, and then they analyze the data, and then they predict the outcome. So basically machine learning is the process of feeding mechanism with the data so that they can interpret, process, and analyze those data in order to produce some outcome that is actionable. So based on those outcome, we can do something on that. So actionable outcomes will be produced at the end of the machine learning. And this machine, which received lots of data, it's not programmed, it's not pre-programmed, it's always based on the data we provide to the machine. So it's not pre-programmed. And there are lots of systems that based on the machine learning, like face detection, Netflix recommendation systems, Cortana. There are many more that's based on the machine learning. And another mechanism is deep learning and neural mechanism. So even in our human brain, there are lots of neuron and they connect each other through the synapse. So and then they will produce some action. So just like our synapse central nervous systems, then the deep learning mechanism is based on that. So neural networks operate just like the neuron in our human brain. It analyzes data over the different layer. We give the data in the input layer. There are lots of hidden layer. They are interconnected to each other, and then they finally produce the output. You can see there is an output layer and then input layer, and between the output layer and input layer there are lots of hidden layer, just like our neurons in the brain. So whenever it receives the data, it will try to connect with each other to produce the outcome. So deep learning is based on the neural network. It finds the connection between the data, and then it produce the result based on the data. Like sometimes it produce positive outcomes, sometimes produce negative outcomes. So it's always based on the connection between the data. So this is deep learning and neural network. First one is machine learning, and the second one is deep learning and neural network. So these are the two basic mechanisms that deals with the artificial intelligence. So Little bit about the AI in medicine. AI in medicine has two main branches. One is virtual branch and another one is physical branch. Virtual branch is basically is the informatics, like we in the medical field we use electronic health records like EMR systems. Electronic medical records is the electronic medical record EMR system is based on the AI, and it's the part of the virtual branch. The informatics approaches from deep learning mechanism. So the virtual branch is basically based on the deep learning and the neural networks. And there is a one systems in the EMR we can find there is CDSS is a decision making system. So that based on the data we provide in the nodes, like even we are modeling and I are doing the nodes, and it is as in healthcare, like we create the chief complaint, medication, current medication history, like social history, medical history, and assessment treatment. Based on those different data, the deep learning mechanisms creates a decision that can be actionable, and that provides the active guidance to the physician in the treatment decision. So it has huge role in medicine. That's the artificial branch, that's the virtual branch. And another one is physical branch, is a very latest technique, like we heard about the robotic surgery. That's also part of AI and is the physical branch. We heard about the prosthesis that will be helpful to the handicapped people and elderly care. And recently, the there is a nanorobots technique. That's a very new technique that also helps to deliver the drug, to inject the medication. So robotic surgery, robots, and the nanorobots are the physical branch of AI in medicine. So this is overall idea about the AI in medicine. So now I want to discuss more about the role of AI in medicine. I want to go deep inside into the role. And there is a saying called no longer science fiction, AI and robotics are transforming healthcare. Why I'm saying this, like the concept of AI is being used in preventive medicine, like keeping well the patient is a preventive medicine, early detection of disease, diagnosis of disease more precisely, decision-making systems through different systems like CDSS used by the provider in the EMR systems. It also helps in the treatment process. AI also helps in end of the care, like elderly care. It also helps in research and training as well. So I want to go each and everything in details in subsequent slide. So first is the role of artificial intelligence medicine, that dealing with the preventive medicine, that's a keeping well. There are various technology applications and apps that encourage healthier behavior in individuals, help with the proactive management of healthy lifestyles. There are different tracking mechanisms. You can see that nowadays Apple Watch or Fitbit, they can monitor the person's vitals, especially blood pressures, heart rate. These are the systems based on the artificial intelligence that can monitor the blood pressure of the blood pressures, heart rate, is ECG, the heart rhythm, that can monitor throughout the day. So whenever anything abnormal happen during the monitoring process, that can alert the consumer. In that way, artificial is helping the consumer in preventing some dangerous outcome. Like sometimes when the person's heart rate go abnormal or went abnormal, or the heart rhythm went abnormal, it immediately alert the person, so that the person, even the now systems developed in a way that in an Apple Watch, whenever anything abnormal happen, it would immediately calls 911. So in that way, it helps in the preventive medicine. this is the artificial intelligence in preventive medicine. The next one is early detection of disease. The concept of early AI is already been used to detect the disease, like to detect the cancer uh, or, or different other disease. It's very early stage of disease process. So there is a computer algorithm has been shown to be very effective as human radiologist. You can see in the picture, it's just a very early stage of breast cancer. There is you can see calcification in the picture, but in normal MRI, that is that will be interpreted by the radiologist. They will not detect this calcification at very early stage, but when they use this artificial intelligence systems, they can also detect the microcalcification, so that the breast cancer will be detected at very early stage. There are many AI-based wearable health tracker, as I already discussed about Apple, Fitbit, that have been developed to monitor the health of the person. And there is a new concept. We are at SN Healthcare, we are using this concept, remote patient monitoring, RPM, and then another one is remote therapeutic monitoring. Remote patient monitoring is also based on the concept of AI. It's basically whenever the persons or patients at their location, residence, like at their patient house, whenever they measure the blood pressure, that blood pressure directly goes to the doctor office. Whenever they record the saturation, oxygen saturation, that also transmit to the doctor office. Likewise, the weight, everything the person monitors at their home, that will transmit to the doctor office, and the doctors at the office will get that notification and then can monitor the person's blood pressure remotely. That's one of the concept that is being used at SN Healthcare and throughout the world as a remote patient monitoring. And same like the RPM, there is another concept, RTM, that is remote therapeutic monitoring. Those patients who have osteoarthritis, chronic pain, neuropathic pain, there are different indications of therapeutic monitoring. There's basically the providing the physical therapy virtually. There is the patient at their home use one applications that can detect the very micro movement of the patients, and then the remote person from the doctor office or the somewhere from remote controls the patient movement and analyze the movement of the patients and can guide the patients. So in that way, patient can get physical therapy virtually as well, and in that way, the patients are getting benefit. And these two things, remote patient monitoring and remote therapeutic monitoring, is widely being used nowadays. This is all about the early detection of disease where artificial intelligence is used. Another one is diagnosis. Not only to detect or detect disease early is important, but also the diagnosing disease more precisely and accurately is very important. And this diagnosis systems basically deals with basically based on the deep learning models and our neural network of artificial intelligence. There will be lots of image slices even inside one image, like whenever the persons go for the MRI, let's suppose MRI, there will be tons of image slice. There are lots of slices of MRI images, and then even with the blink of eye, it can detect and interpret the data based on these artificial and deep learning models that can analyze tons of thousands of slices of image within a blink of eye, and then that provides more precise, more accurate diagnosis than human radiologist. So this is very most important aspect of artificial intelligence that is being used in the medicine that for the diagnosis of disease, um, especially for the complex analysis of MRI scans. One of the things I mentioned over here is Google's DeepMind Health. It's also closely working with the clinician and the different researchers that solves the patient's problem in real case scenarios. Whenever the patient's going for the MRI, while doing MRI, it can produce the image in a real world, so that even we can diagnose the disease more precisely. So artificial intelligence has huge role in more precise and accurate diagnosis of disease. And then when we detect the disease at early stage, or when we diagnose the disease more accurately, it can saves lots of money, because of unclear diagnosis, or there are different differential diagnoses, we go for different other investigation like biopsy, some other intense other invasive mechanism. So when we diagnose the disease at more earlier stage, or when we diagnose the disease more accurately, it can save a patient's money just not going to the biopsy or other invasive mechanism. So in that way, it saves the healthcare cost. Another one in decision making. The AI plays a major role in decision making by studying user needs and evaluating any potential risks. You can see in the picture, this is a robotic surgery. Whenever the surgeon performs surgery, it detects a surgeon hand movement. In that way, it can assist a surgeon about the different surgery. Like whenever the surgeon needs any needles or any seizure, it can provide immediately. It detects the surgeon hand movements. Using pattern recognition to identify potential risks at risk of developing a condition or seeing it deteriorate due to lifestyle, environment, or genomic other factors. Usually the decision making is based on the pattern recognitions, how the surgeon moves his hands, how surgeon performing the surgery, it detects all the patterns, and in that way it can assist in the surgery process. And we heard about the Da Vinci robotic surgery is being widely used in current society. So in that way, it can also help in decision making, especially the surgical robots that not only help in the decision making process, it also assist in the surgery. So that's another most important aspect of AI in medicine. Another one is in the treatment, the role of artificial intelligence in treatment process. Each patient is individualized because of their health condition, and each patient has different treatment design. And basically, it helps to design a treatment protocol or treatment plan with the provider. How it design the treatment plan, it analyze the data, like it analyze notes or patient files or external research. It has also a device to detect, to search in the external environment, external source like Google or Chrome and anything. It searches externally as well, that correlates with the patient's files and then progress notes, and then it creates a customized treatment plan. In that way, patient will get benefits. Robots are used in hospitals and labs for repetitive tasks, like in rehabilitation, physical therapy. Whenever there are different repetitive tasks, the robots can assist those repetitions. And then now currently there is a concept of virtual nurse as well, which provides self-care, clinical advice. The virtual nurse can also schedule an appointment. There is also a nurse line. Whenever the patient needs any help, the virtual nurse can call nearby hospitals and also provide the direction to the nearby hospitals. In that way, patient can get benefit. And there is a huge roles of artificial intelligence in treatment process, because as I discussed, it creates a customized treatment plan, and in that, based on the it's very individualized based on the patient's past medical history, the current medical conditions, active medical conditions, current medications, and then different other socioeconomic factors. It creates a customized treatment path, and that can assist the provider to provide a more accurate treatment. Next concept of artificial intelligence in medicine is the elderly care, that is end of the life care. There are many homebound patients because of their medical condition, like osteoarthritic pain, gait abnormality, uh, dementia. There are various conditions that can lead to the homeboundness. And whenever the patient stays at home because of their medical condition, it creates the environment of loneliness. At that time, the artificial intelligence can be used. Like it can, the artificial intelligence device can talk with the patients and interact with the aging people, so that in that way, people will get benefit just by sharpening their mind. They are continuously using their mind, talking with the artificial intelligence devices. Artificial intelligence also provides smarter care at home, like it remind the patients when to take medications with the proper dose instruction. It's also contact the caregiver, home attendant in case of some emergencies. It also encourages patients to be active, to walk around, to get out of the bed, or to do some physical exercise. It also encourages the patients to do those activities. Sometimes artificial intelligence can also, especially the virtual nurse, can also schedule appointment. They can also, the artificial intelligence device can also remind the patient to attend the appointment that is already been scheduled. So it has also a huge role in end of the life care. Another important thing about of artificial intelligence medicine is data management. Why it is very important in data management? In medical sector, there are tons of data, and it's very difficult to interpret sometimes by human mind. So at that time, clinicians often struggle to stay updated with the latest medical advances. Though they provide the patient-centered care, sometimes they struggle to get updated with the latest medical things. At that time, artificial intelligence can be implemented to unwind the different data of the patient, and then latest technologies, so that provider would get updated on those things. AI-based robotics collect different data that can be stored and reformat, and that can trace diagnosis to the providers, so that basically there are different robotic system or different technologies like nuance technology, excuse me. There are different technology, and then machine devices like nuance technology, robotic technology, that can collect lots of data, and that can be customized, and then that can be used to trace the diagnosis, and so that we can provide the faster and more consistent access to the data. And one of the, I already gave an example of Nuance. It is a prediction service provider that uses artificial intelligence and machine learning to precise the intent of users. So it also helps in data management. So that's overall about the role of artificial intelligence in medicine. There are different roles, so it is very difficult to cover in one presentations. These are the most most common role that being used in nowadays. So we are using artificial intelligence. It has its own advantages and disadvantages. You can see in the picture there are more advantages than disadvantages. But advantages are like it can provide service in more accurate, precise, and in a precise way, more efficiently. It can also decrease workload. It can, so that whenever there will be less workload, the provider will have more time to talk with the patient. So more time to talk with, more time to invest their provider time on the critical cases. In that way, it reduces the workload, so that the provider will get more time on the critical cases. And as I already discussed, it saves money and it provides better monitoring. Disadvantages are very few, like it can lead to the loss of jobs. It's so obvious. And sometimes while using machine doesn't have any human empathy, any emotional response. So that whenever we talk with the patients, whenever we deals with the patients, we can provide more empathic response or more emotional response, but the machine will not provide that. So sometimes there will be lack of human empathy as well. So with that, I want to conclude my presentations, and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Thapa. And do we have any comments or questions from the group? So I just want to say that I'm working with artificial intelligence, and I noticed that you have all the different uses of artificial intelligence. And you very nicely put it there for treatment and on life. I just want to add another component, which is education as well. We are trying to use artificial intelligence to train our students on the clinical skills. Very
Yeah.
difficult. And I saw part of the disadvantage that you put there. Yes, the empathy and the emotions are not there captured right. And we're trying to create a rubric that can give us a measurement on how that works. How can we measure that on that? And it's not easy.
Oh, yeah.
Still, there is still a lot of ways to go on that. So yes, I think it is great because it actually one of the problems that we have preparing students is that we don't have enough space
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's correct.
to help to have that. And clinical skills is a repetition process. It's like they have to get the mental memory there going, and usually that's not something that we can have, or they don't have somebody to practice with. So and that has been very useful for us in that aspect. So yeah, I'm very excited about the project that we're working with artificial intelligence, and yes, it's still in the emphasis on in many ways, but I think there's a bright future for that for that in medical education, at least in the medical students.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I think, if I may, I love the part where you cover the increase in details that the artificial intelligence was providing in the diagnosis of the breast cancer, because it's it's so detailed, and so it can analyze so much data that a human being just can't process fast enough. So I think for those little minute details, it allows
Yeah.
a machine is much more superior to doing something like that than a human can do. I think that blew me away when you showed that one slide. I was just really impressed with me.
Thank you.
we have anybody else has any comments or questions?
I think Martin always have question.
Mhm.
So what do you think the next advances are going to be coming in this field?
I'm still researching this topic, but I think it will take over the medicine. Like even in the now because of coronavirus, everything is going to be remote. So the next advances will be the remote control of patients in from the patient home. We can provide the service from the doctor office. Like whenever the next things I'm expecting, like the remote surgery, but I think that will be very big expect. But now it's developing, to develop the remote surgery as well. I search online, they're working on this concept, but hopefully within next 10 to 20 years we'll get remote surgery as well. So
Yeah, and I think the remote surgery provides a unique advantage in the fact that there's less chances of infection for the practitioners because they can work on somebody remotely, on somebody who may have a disease process that might be highly contagious or something like that without having to worry about catching it themselves because they are protected by being in a different location.
oh yeah.
And the fact that you could actually have somebody in, say, California doing robotic surgery on somebody in a different state, just
Yeah,
distant, it's just again, you think of science fiction, but every day our science fiction turns into more fact.
yeah, but it's transferring that now current healthcare status.
I remember reading something about at the space station, or that they wanted to put some kind of robotic treatment in there so that the doctors on Earth could treat the patients up on the space station. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I think I saw one movies regarding this concept, like the remote surgery, but hopefully within next 10 to 20 years we'll get that, so that people from the different country or around the globe will get benefit from the remote surgery as well.
Well, as long as you're in this field, you're definitely going to have work. I don't think you need to worry about being a lack of employment there.
Yeah, that's the definite thing.
Yeah, talking about lots of jobs, do you think artificial intelligence is gonna be eventually taking over doctors?
Yeah, hopefully even when they do better than doctors, so they can customize treatment plan. They can assist patient more better, more precise way. They can AI can assist in the physical therapy. AI can assist in everything in more precise and more accurate and more faster way than human mind. So it's possible they can take over the doctor's duty as well. But the human always should be there to guide the machine.
Yeah, they don't teach themselves yet, so that's good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We have to give information. We have to give data to the machine so that they can provide the information. So
And that's
it's always a hybrid.
mm-hmm. And that's true, because when I was developing the cases for my this, it's like we have to start every single case from the beginning. And it's like a teaching. Each case is like teaching a toddler.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes more sophisticated on that. So yes, it is really interesting. Once the artificial intelligence starts teaching themselves how to be smarter, they can be smarter than us probably.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know how impactful is this presentation, but it's very this presentation is based on the very initial research of mine. So
Right. No, it's a great because you broke it up on the different uses. We always think of artificial intelligence, the Star Wars and stuff like that. No, and the medical field. That's a great perspective that you're giving us, and I want to thank you for that. Anybody else has any questions for Dr. Thapa?
or anybody can share the information they already know about it.
Mhm. Yes. If you wanna get in touch with, can you type your email in the chat, and they will, if they wanna get in touch with you, please. Okay, and is and that will conclude our session for the webinar for today. Please join us in October. We're gonna have another good topic, something I'm not very familiar in this world of this simulation. Is gonna be run by Dr. Pardon me, Lisa Brown. So she's gonna be talking about the high fidelity simulation in LRT risk identifications and enrollment for hyperbaritic oxygen brain injury treatment. So that's a very good topic. I don't know anything about that world of simulation, but looking forward for that. And I'm looking forward for you guys to join us on that webinar. Okay. Thank you, everybody. This is Mariano Lu, and thank you, Dr. Prabin Thapa. And
Yes.
also,
Thank you for having me as well. It's very
Thank you.
experience.
Yeah, thank you for sharing this with us, Dr. Thapa.
right. Bye, everybody.
Okay, bye.